I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
Cameras, lights, action. Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, the spin-off podcast from the popular web series The Two Dicks, about 1950s detectives that are politically incorrect when you could be politically incorrect and not get canceled. I'm Al Ducharme, Studio City, California, and that, my friends, with his new mug, sporting his new brand new colorized Two Dicks mug, Talking Dicks, Al Romas in his cabin on a cruise ship once again. Hi, Al. How the hell are you?
Yeah, man, it was a good delivery day. My sister sent me some cigars, and I got the new Talking Dicks ceramic mug, larger than the black and white mug, which is nice. A little extra Joe in there, and always a good time when mail call. You know what I mean? All the prisoners gather downstairs, and we get mail call. And the sex robots are there, and the Blue Ball magazine, and little boys, and all sorts of shit. But I ended up getting some cigars and a mug, so I was happy with that.
No Filipino lady boy for you? Well, those are on board, actually. You don't have to go far for that.
Oh, they're here all right.
You don't have to mail.
You hear a lot of giggling,
order.
a lot of giggling in the hallways, and I'm like, it's very unnerving. You know what I mean? When because these guys work hard, man. These are the guys who work 18-hour days. They're painting and chipping, but in the meantime, they're giggling like little schoolgirls, and these Filipino men giggling. It's just a weird. It's a weird thing, man.
That's how they get through the day.
I find it unnerving.
Well, we should all giggle. And you don't know. You know what it is? You're not giggling enough. That's why. If you were giggling more, you'd understand it. Al, you need to giggle. You're making people giggle. You're making people giggle. Everybody's giggling all around you. You're a giggle maker.
And I'm weeping.
And you're weeping inside.
I'm doing the opposite.
That's
I'm outside. I weep outside.
You
not inside. I'm a fucking mess.
You're an outside weeper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Before I go on stage, I cry it out. And then when I come off the stage, I start weeping again. And when I go back to the cabin, I weep. There's a lot of crying going on. But as long as the audience is giggling, that's all we care about.
Just
right?
Just do not off yourself. Okay? Just don't off yourself until we get to 200 pods.
200 volumes? Okay.
200 pods, volumes. And even then,
what are we at now?
Don't rush it.
132
podcasts since the beginning of the pandemic or shortly thereafter. I think we started in April of 2020. And here we are. This is unbelievable. We're doing it. You're in the Caribbean on a cruise ship, and technology has been able to bring us together since we're not in person.
Twice a week. Twice a week. I see a lot of them. I see a lot of them come and go since we started, but they couldn't keep up this pace. They were doing once a week, a lot of these.
Yeah.
And they just went, fuck it. Can't do it. It's too much.
Well, we use this platform for many different things. Our heads, of course, creativity. We do have some very loyal fans, and we have Patreon supporters at patreon.com/the two dicks. A little as $5 a month will keep us going to 300 episodes or volumes. You get a mug, customary mug, and you get other prizes depending on what level, because you can give more money. But we have T-shirts, we have coasters, and I think we're adding on a used VCR that I have that's collecting dust. That will be available as well.
Awesome. Somebody just posted a friend of mine, Mara, this girl Mara, put a picture on Facebook of a VHS tape that she found, and it's a bunch of stuff. And then one of the things, it just says Al on Caroline's. And she was like, look what I found. And I'm like,
wow, Jesus Christ. The archives.
Yeah. Al on Caroline's with
so that was in the
Rich
90s.
Jenny posted that.
Oh, that was
Rich Jenny.
The late Rich Jenny. Unfortunately, he took himself.
Speaking of offing,
took himself out in a shower with a shotgun. I guess he was thinking about the cleaning woman. Yeah, he was thinking.
There's a lot going on, and like you can commit suicide, but that's a lot going on in that one when you're have a shotgun in the shower. Your girlfriend's downstairs making breakfast.
He's prepped.
There's very involved
Yeah.
with that.
There was some
suicide.
prep going,
Yeah.
but from what I understand, which I didn't know at the time, he had a lot of paranoia issues, and great comedian, by the way. I thought he was a great comedian. I enjoyed him very
Fabulous.
much. But he had a lot of issues that were unknown, paranoia, and he was schizophrenic, I believe. He was on meds, and you know how that works. Oh, he went off his meds. You know, people try to ease themselves, self-medicate, and then ease themselves, reduce doses, and then try to wean themselves, and then.
Yeah, that's why I stick with the 47 melatonins a night, and everything's good, wonderful.
And that's 10 milligrams, right? So that's 470
10 milligrams.
milligrams.
47.
Yeah, I can do math. I can do meth too, but I prefer to do math. So that's how that works.
Are you still doing
speaking of suicide, it's 3 years.
Yes, sir.
3 years since Anthony Bourdain, who was my guy, hung himself in his apartment in Paris. He was dealing with a lot of demons. He went cold turkey off of heroin back in the.
Did he?
Well, I don't know.
Did he?
But
though?
they said that he may have replaced his addiction with heroin because he did it on his own. Didn't go to AA or anything. He just went cold turkey, and he was boozing it up. But he went to. That was his addiction to, I guess, being addicted to sadness and codependency.
Yeah.
And because he was on top of the world
addicts,
as far as, yeah.
A lot of addicts don't believe that he quit. A lot of addicts have said you just don't stop heroin, and they didn't buy it. Even back then, years ago, they were like, we don't buy it. I mean, so who knows? He might have been sniffing it still. He might have been, but whatever he was doing, something gave him an iron stomach because some of that shit he ate, I like the show, but I'm not going to, he was an early visitor to Juggy's place in St. Martin. He was one of the early.
Oh, really?
Guys.
Back in no reservations? When the first show was on the Travel Channel, right? Or Discovery?
Just when the book had come out and before he was doing TV, he got a place in St. Martin, like a timeshare.
Oh, Kitchen Confidential was his book.
Yeah, and he would go hang out in St. Martin for a month or so and discovered Juggy's place and would hang out with Juggy. So
I did not know this.
Continued it. Yeah, continued it while he was to the point. Then one time he was pretty well known, and he went there, and he couldn't really hang out. He couldn't sit and stay. So, but yeah, he was a Juggy's place guy.
He's not an easy guy to get into cognito either, because he was very tall, and he had that very prominent Italian face. It was, and then when he started going salt and pepper, he was just recognized everywhere he went, and that was a big thing. He was kind of a loner. He liked the idea of the dynamic of his family, because he had 2 marriages, I guess. And he was a father. He had a daughter, and he thought he was going to be the ideal father. But his career took him away, and he wasn't home a lot, and he regretted that.
Yeah, I don't buy a lot of those guys, though, because I had read something recently about that, how he's shy and he didn't really want. But then I remember him co-hosting or being a judge on these lame game shows where people cook something, and he didn't have to do that. You're already famous. If you're a shy guy who wants more time with the family, you don't have to be on some game show that's not going to work anyway, and it sucks. You know what I mean? It's like a knockoff of Chopped or something, and why are you on there? You know what I mean? So it's a little dichotomy.
I get it, but also his mind. His mind is. He even said, like, when he was home for a year and a half, pre-pandemic. This is obviously he's been dead for 3 years, but. Pre all that, he was home for a year and a half. Like, he took time out to be the family guy, and he started getting the itch to get back on the road and do those things. So you become addicted to something else. He became addicted to that, where he was like a shy guy. Yeah. He said he was very awkward in front of the camera and on set in the beginning. It was just like, is this going to work? But when finally he was able to capture that laid backness in front of the camera and have that conversation, ask those questions and enjoy that food and be interesting. The camera just like absorbed him. But was he Tapping? Was he tapping on the vein there to get to that point?
We won't know. We
don't know.
won't know. But
He wore
I
a lot of
remember
short sleeves. He
years
did a lot
ago.
of shirtless stuff on the beaches. I didn't see.
Yeah,
any
no, guys were
needle
saying he was
marks.
sniffing it. Guy, this
Oh,
was
sniffing.
years ago. Like
Okay,
people were just
maybe.
saying, they go, "Hey, you don't want from it." The guy's probably snorting it. And I was like, "Oh, whatever."
Or in
Who
between the
knows,
toes, right?
you know?
You go in between the toes with the syringe. Is that another hiding place?
Right in the ball, but right in the ball bag. I think that's another one. It's a hardcore. That's a hard.
When I broke my
Kidding.
leg my senior year of high school, I stayed at Cranston General Hospital, and they were packed. It was summertime, a lot of accidents in the summer. It was towards the end of the school. It was the end of the school year, so we were into June. So I had to share. There were 4 beds. I didn't have a private room. My parents were Navy blue collar, so I had 3 other patients in my room, and the guy across from me, his name was Walter, and he was like a 45-year-old guy. He had a beard. And heroin addict. They brought him in because he OD'd, and they had to wean him off with methadone. And I remember the nurses going in, "Oh my good," she's tapping his arm. She goes, "Wow, your veins, I can't find one. There's so many holes." And he goes, "Yeah, go between my toe. Go between my toe. There's a big one," because he could spot his vein. He knew where he wanted to inject if he had the opportunity to give him something, and he wanted to get shot right between the toes. And then he was okay for an hour or 2, but he wanted the real, put me in a coma for 12 hours, you know. There you have it. There's a little snippet.
Keep in contact with Walter over the years.
Walter didn't make it out of the hospital. Because, and here's the reason why I know this. I had broken up with my prom date. She was a junior, I was a senior, girlfriend in college. And I started dating one of the nurses that was taking care of me. I was in the hospital for 39 days because I had a compound fracture. It wouldn't heal. So I actually started dating one of the nurses, and she would come visit me, obviously, after I got out of the hospital. And she told me, she goes, "No, he didn't make it. His heart just went." So there you have it. Drugs are bad, right, kids. Well, say no to drugs. Say yes to cigars, beer, and wine.
Yeah. Cigars, definitely. You know, here's a Monday night. I did Welcome Aboard show Saturday, first night of the cruise. Welcome Aboard. 2 shows.
Tell the folks what WAB is.
2 shows. Well, if they can't figure it out, they can click off the podcast. Fucking Welcome Aboard. Jesus Christ. You know, is this what we're dealing with?
I'm just trying to make it interesting. Tell me about your Welcome Aboard show. Oh my God. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Now, granted, it won't be a Walter died story, but still,
you can't follow Walter dying. You can't follow Walter dying.
That's what I'm saying. I just said that. It won't be a Walter dying story.
But I will say this before you get into this. We're going to get into this. I'm going to let you get into it. But your last story on the last pod with you forgetting the setup to your joke, and the audience member who was on a previous cruise remembered that joke and came back for that joke, corrected you, and that was poetic. I just had to remind people to go tune into podcast volume number 131, our best podcast to date. This one's going to suck. And all right, go ahead.
So I was at the pool deck. So I do the 2 welcomes on Saturday, and then Monday night I'm at the pool deck watching a little, I don't know, something on YouTube, I guess, and having a cigar. 9:30. And I see the production manager walking toward me, which that's never a good sight if you're working on a cruise and the production manager is walking toward you at a pool deck at 9:30 in the evening.
And he's dressed in black.
He got all in black. And he goes, "Hey, can I talk to you? We have a situation." And I go, "Yeah,
we have to pay you double. What? We have to give you double because you were so fucking good. We got to double your pay." Is that what he said?
You know it. That was the story. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. I would never. So I go, "What's going on?" He goes, "Oh, the dancer got a fucking hangnail or a pimple or yeah, some whatever. The dancer can't dance, and they have 5 dancers or some shit, but one dancer, now the whole show's canceled. They can't dance.
It's fucking ridiculous."
And I go, so I don't say anything because I'm just waiting, and I'm having this. And I go, "Yeah." And then he's like, "We'd really like you to do the show." And I go, "What show? 10:15? It's 9:30." And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, we need you to do it. We need you to do it. And what do you get? There's nothing you can do. I mean, I just go, yes. So I go down, I change, I go to the theater. The people are told it's not a production show, it's comedy. But now I got to do a different half hour because I've done the welcome aboard half clean. Now I got to do another 30 clean. Okay. I do it. Pro, thank you. Do it. Goes fine. Very nice. Done. Cruise director is very thankful, gives me a dinner at, fucking one of the restaurants and says, thank you very much. Go eat. And now you're done for the week. Because I'm done. I've done 3 now. Mm-hmm. So yesterday we had a little meeting, one of those. Yeah, we have a little meeting.
Don't answer the cabin phone. Rule number 1 of Fight Club. Do not answer cabin phone.
Yeah, we have a little meeting, and at the meeting they go, "Hey, we want to thank Al for stepping up and doing all that." Everybody applauds, very nice. And I go, "Okay,
Red, reeling you in."
Right. 2 hours later, I get a little text from the production manager. "Hey, can you call Hugo, the cruise director, at his number 89 whatever?" Now that can't be good. Why do I have to call the cruise director? There's nothing good. He's not going to be like.
I was in the sauna with a ladyboy, a Philippine ladyboy. I didn't have my phone with me.
They'll go over the PA. You're on a ship. They're going to find you. It's guaranteed. They'll find you. So you hear that right now? That's my phone.
Rule number 1 of Fight Club. Do not answer the cabin phone.
Hold on. Let me see what's going on here.
No, don't do it, you pussy. You fucking pussy. Oh man, he's answering the phone in the cabin on a cruise ship when you've already done 3 shows. You've already covered over an hour. Oh my God. No, I'm good. No, I'm good. He said. He just said, "No, I'm good." What did they say? Did they say, "Hey, we have some extra cum. We have some extra cum. Would you like a glass sent up to your room?" Did they say that?
The guy, cabin attendant, goes, "You need your room cleaned?" I'm like, "It says do not disturb outside." He goes, "Yeah." I go,
"He disturbed you."
Then no.
He fucking disturbed you.
I could have been sound asleep for the first time
in
maybe 4 days.
Holy shit. When's the last time you had your cabin cleaned? When's the last time you had it cleaned? Because you're supposed to have it cleaned so often.
Yesterday.
No, 2 or 3 days he can call you if you have a do not disturb sign out there.
Right. This is what I'm saying. Yes.
What a twat.
I had it cleaned yesterday. And he's like, "I said we didn't need your cabin cleaned." I go, "Well, no, it says do not disturb. That's the point of
Did you tell him do not disturb, or are you saying that to me in the audience?
The sign is on the door. Do not disturb.
No, but did you say
looking at
did you tell him? Did you go with "I'm napping"?
Did you say to him, "I don't need disturb"?
Yeah, you were nice. You were kind. Did you say I'm in the middle of an award-winning podcast, volume 132? Did you say that?
Yes, and then he went, "Oh, the Talking Dicks, I love that. I will download it tomorrow." I said, "Oh, thank you, buddy. Very good." So anyway, here's the point. Let me fucking end this thing. So, I call the cruise director, and he goes, "Oh, is this Hugo?" And he goes, "Oh, is this Al Romas, my favorite comedian on the greatest comedian?" And he's the. And I go, "Yeah, what's going on?" He goes, "Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Don't kill me." I go, "Yeah." He goes, "We need you Friday, 9:30. I go, "I've done the 2-3 shows now." And he goes, "Well, we have these singers and dancers. They're going to sing, no dancing. They're just going to sing at 7:00. I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "And then we'll have you at 9:30. Well, why can't they do 2? They can't do 2. They can't sing.
It's any fucking the worst.
So what can I do? I go, "Yes. Okay. Now, the audience, this is the 4th time they'll see me.
You got to shit
on.
It's
the 3rd. It's unbelievable the amount of material they want, and there's going to be it's the last night. It's 9:30. They leave the next morning, so it's going to be a very small crowd to begin with.
Your ratings are already
and they're going to have seen me. They're going to see me twice or 3 times. Again, come on, man. It's ridiculous. There's other people here.
You haven't done the show yet, is what you're telling me, right? It's tomorrow night.
That one will be tomorrow night. That'll be my 4th show.
That's
of the week,
dude. That fucking blows. Why wouldn't they? Did the singer say we don't want to do 2 shows without the dancers?
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Fuck, they're letting the fucking cast of fucking high school fucking performers. You're a professional comedian, dude.
I know.
What are you going to do for material?
I know.
Do you want my Star Wars bit or my Kendall
I don't
bit?
know.
Take them both.
I don't know.
Smell it!
I don't know
Smell
what I'm
it!
gonna do.
You can do Anthony from Efforts for Family on the phone. You know what? Come on, man. I give you permission.
I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest. I'm just like, there's nothing left. I did an hour already of clean.
Right.
I don't have endless clean, and there's
Right.
nothing adult I can do. Even the Monday
your ratings
night,
are already in.
goes, oh, if you want to do some adult, do it. And then I go out on the stage. First of all, they don't think it's adult, so that's not going to work. And then there's a 9-year-old kid in the second row. So it's like, well, I can't do any adult shit here.
Did you have
This is crazy.
Did
So
you have your dinner? Did you have your dinner yet in the restaurant?
No, it's tomorrow night. So
No, you can't do that.
I booked it at 6:30. So I'm going to have it with Billy, the juggler, at 6:30. And then I'll do my show at 9:30.
Is he picking up
But
the
I can't
tab for
drink.
both of you or just you?
Both.
So Billy's just your companion, right?
Yeah, I invited him. So,
But
So, yeah.
Hugo's going to pay for him too. He should.
Yeah, he said, take someone with you.
So Billy wins by default. Why didn't they ask Billy to go juggle some shit?
I think because he has to do warm up. So that night, the other night was too late. He couldn't have warmed up in time. He could have done tomorrow night. That would have been, but not my call. But yeah, he could have. Sure.
Are you going to get a second dinner? And are you going to ask for it?
another
Hugo,
dinner.
I need you to hook me up again. I say
I should, but I don't know.
What do you mean you
We'll
don't
see.
know? You get your fucking steak.
We'll see.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so
It's
if
annoying.
I was
It's
repping
annoying.
you, forget it.
Yeah.
You'd
Well,
have
I
a
even told
balcony,
him.
I'll tell you that
This-
much.
This is not. I didn't tell my our agent or anyone like that, because what are they going to do? Nothing going to happen. Nothing going to change. We're on the ship. You know what I mean? It's its own world out here. So,
Have you been off the ship since you've been on the ship? Have you stepped off the ship?
no, sir.
In 3
79
months.
days.
So
80 days.
is it
today.
bringing you
80
back to?
days today.
Is it bringing you back to the Navy? Your Navy days as a young fella?
No, as a young fella, I worked 12 on, 12 off, and slept with 40 men in a berthing area with, so no, it's not similar at all.
Oh my God!
But,
Slept with 40 men. That's the name of
40
your
men, sir.
memoir.
I slept with 40 men. That's right. And there wasn't any sleeping, if you know what I mean. It was
it
hot.
it would be 7%, right? 7% are gay, and then 3.5% of that would act.
Well, yeah. I mean, we get guys
All
quit all the
hands
time.
on deck.
I think you use that joke once every third podcast. I think that's the ratio that joke is coming in now.
Right, and those are our biggest.
One
biggest,
out of 3.
Those are the biggest downloads. All right. Do we have any questions today, Commander?
We do. Yes.
Oh my
Sort of
goodness! It's
do,
time
I guess.
for
Well, it's ironic. I guess we were just talking about this comedian on a previous pod. Comedian Steve-O. Were we talking about him last podcast, or maybe
we
the one
did.
before that?
We talked about him inviting me over to stay at his apartment above his parents' garage, so I didn't have to take the 3 a.m. train back to Manhattan, and he did me a solid. Good guy, good dude.
And then
I just had
told
dinner
you,
with
he
him
goes,
about a month ago.
Oh wow! He said, "Hey, if you need keys to the apartment, they're under the rug." And he lifted his head, and the key was on his head. Is that what happened?
Now I have to edit this out because he's going to listen to this episode. We did.
But
we
no one knows
complimented
he
him.
wore a
I said he
piece.
had
Jesus
leading
Christ.
man
I said-
looks, and I had no idea that
And I
he
said
had.
it was the best piece I ever saw. Best piece.
It's not the best
of
piece you
ass
ever
I've
had,
seen.
but
The best piece I ever saw. I'll tell you that much. Rough. Well, Steve.
oh my God,
Steve-O had 2 questions.
Steve listened to his first and last podcast of ours right there. I'm sorry, buddy.
Why should he be any different than anyone else?
So what are the questions from Steve?
They should have that as a download stat, one time only. We would see how that goes. Steve, I don't know what these mean, but Steve wrote, your biggest bust. And then he wrote, where do I find the podcast? Well,
he's talking about the Two Dicks Detectives. What was our biggest bust? Do you remember what our biggest bust was?
Oh,
wow.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh,
So what was our biggest bust out of the 15 episodes? What was the biggest bust we had? We solved the murder in the pool, but we didn't want to do the paperwork, so we just ran away. We ran away. Do you remember that when we found body parts in the pool?
Yeah.
What episodes was that?
Wasn't that the one where we
Tippy
brought
come home?
Tippy back home?
Tippy come home.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, we got what's his name? What was the first episode?
Oh, Middle Finger.
What was the guy's name? No,
we got
the first episode. We were busting him in the, what was his name?
Finkel.
You know,
Finkel. How could you
Finkel.
forget Finkel? Fat fuck Finkel.
Finkel's the reason
That was his
we're
street
here,
name.
for
Fat
God's sake.
fuck Finkel. Go check that one out too.
Yeah.
That was called The
YouTube, everybody.
Interrogation.
Check out the Two Dicks on YouTube. The Two Dicks. Our biggest bust, I guess. I don't know. Did we have any success? Any accomplishments?
What I'm saying is we
Detectives?
found body parts in a pool that probably would have wrapped up the entire case, but we didn't want to do the paperwork, so we took off. We ran away.
We just threw them. I think we threw them back in the pool and ran.
Also, we Captain Crunch vapor locked and died, and we took his body and put it in a chair in a park with a magazine in his hand because we didn't want to do the paperwork.
Right. So those are pretty big.
So those are solvable cases. We had the answers. We just didn't want to do the paperwork. And we didn't want to lose our detective license because we were applying for a private Dick's license. And we didn't want to.
We killed Peasy and Apples too in Boston. They fell out a window.
Well, they fell out. They threw them. Well, we were grappling with them and they fell out the window.
Yeah, they fell, air quotes, out the window. I pushed them. Okay. And then Steve, so there you go, Steve. I hope that answered that. And where do I find the podcast? Well, sir,
you're listening to it right now.
Wherever you find podcasts, that's where you find the podcast.
So I think he wants you to message him or text him.
Well, that's not going to happen. Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Pandora.
But he would already be listening, so you have to give him a link so that he can hear this. You're a little rusty, detective. You're a little rusty.
I don't understand how he could not be able to find them. Maybe he's doing it as this is helping us promote. Where do I find the podcast? Well, you find it at
no,
and then people.
Well, because he's answering you on Instagram, right?
Facebook.
Oh, it's all there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. But we thank you for the question, Steve, and hope you're well.
We also
had another question.
We did. We have a couple.
Colonel Wick. Colonel Wick popped in. Dun, dun, dun.
That's admirable.
Colonel Wick wants to know, how many podcast comedians does it take to change a light bulb? Wow, look at Colonel Wick.
I know.
It sounds like the setup of one of those jokes. How many comedians does it take to change a light bulb in a comedy condo? And the answer is, Alfred? Nothing?
No, I don't remember that one. I don't remember that one.
There are no light bulbs in a comedy condo.
There it is. And
wow,
they're only going to blow the light anyways.
Yeah. How many does it take? It takes 4. 1 to change the light bulb, to 3 to go, how long has he been up there?
Yeah.
All those,
yeah.
So there you go. Colonel Wick, how many comedians does it take? And
4 is
Colonel
the answer.
Wick is well.
Colonel Wick is down there in the desert.
Colonel Wick. She was an early Talking Dicks comedy podcast supporter when we were just on the old Facebook, but she's been around for quite a while.
Big
a
supporter.
year or whatever it's been, a year plus.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had another question, but I didn't write it down. So I don't know what the question was. I sent it to you, I think last night. Some guy wanted to know how long you've been a woman or something. So I
I was born an Italian woman. So I was an Italian woman. I wasn't even an Italian baby. I was born an Italian woman, and they were able to remove the Italian part, which was pretty easy. But the woman stayed in me. So there you have it. Anthony is Italian.
I didn't know who that.
Salamini. That's Anthony Salamini. Anthony Salamini is from Massachusetts, but he moved to Hong Kong. That's where we met him. And we met him in a comedy club. He does comedy, but he's a finance guy during the day. But he moved to Arizona.
He's on the run.
He is. He moved to Arizona after the
Mass to Hong Kong to Arizona.
Yes. Yeah. I think he was in mainland China before Hong Kong, but I'm not sure about that. And then he's on the run.
Yeah.
He's
fishy. It's fishy.
It's a little fishy.
I saw a question on Facebook. I thought it was interesting. We'll just throw that one out there too. Was last minute? What is that? Last minute show? No. What's a movie? Oh, this is it. What's a movie you've seen at least 50 times?
50?
Oh, that was interesting. What's a movie 50 times a movie? Other than say The Godfather. Let's not say The Godfather. It's so fucking hack. Everyone's Godfather.
Godfather 2.
You son of a bitch. You.
I have never seen any movie 50 times, but I've seen parts of movies dozens of times, and I've seen the movie entirely 4 times, maybe 5 times. But that could vary, you know. I think I've seen Jaws like a half a dozen times. It holds up. Jaws holds up.
Right. I don't know if you have to say the whole movie, but what's a movie you've seen? I would say like movie like Heat. Movie Heat. Anytime that's on, I watch it. I've probably seen it 50 times in the sense of parts of it or whatever. I will always watch it. I'll always.
Dudley Moore and Arthur.
At least fit.
Yeah.
Minimum.
And you and I, matter of fact, in many of the Two Dicks episodes of the web series, there's usually a line that we copped from the Arthur movie. We stick it in there with each of us saying it, different lines from.
I think so. I think every one of them, if not 90% of them. Then we were at the end before COVID was coming. We were more doing lines from Stripes.
Yes, we switched to Stripes
in there, and then COVID hit, and we were derailed for a bit.
Maybe we'll keep Stripes going on the next episode, and then we'll figure out
Barnaky. He owes me money. Yeah. Yeah.
Does that wrap it up?
I think
for
we
this
put them
volume?
in one of them. I think our last 2 dicks with the phones,
with the phone
I think we both had some. I think we had some Stripes lines in that one. Check it out. 2 Dicks on YouTube, Patreon / the 2 Dicks, and that's it for me. I'm Al Romas. That's El Ducharme.
Adios.
Thanks for listening. See you next time.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com / The Two Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, sure.
All right. Subscribe. Mary.
Go to patreon.com / The Two Dicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.